CS Adan A. Mohammed. He moves to the Ministry of the East African Community and Regional Development. CS Adan A. Mohammed moves to the Ministry of East African Community and Regional Development. CS Peter Munya moves to the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Cooperatives. CS Peter Munya moves to the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Cooperatives. Professor Colette A. Suda moves to the Ministry of Education as Chief Administrative Secretary and Principal Secretary in charge of State Department for University Education. Honorable Simon Kachapin. He moves to the Ministry of Energy as Chief Administrative Secretary. Now, Principal Secretary Charles Sunkuli moves to State Department for Devolution. And PS Nelson Marwa moves to Social Protection, Pension and Senior Citizens Affairs State Department. PS Zainab Abdallah Hussein moves to State Department for Correctional Services. PS Alfred Cheriot moves to State Department of Post-Training and Skills Development. PS Susan Mochache moves to the Ministry of Environment and Forestry. And Mr. Joe Okudo is reappointed as Principal Secretary for the Tourism State Department. Dr. Margaret W. Mwakima becomes PS for Wildlife State Department. Dr. Ibrahim M. Mohammed is reappointed and will be the PS in charge of State Department of Labor. Mrs. Fatuma Hirsi is reappointed to be PS for Broadcasting and Telecommunications State Department. Professor Misheni Jafet Ntiba moves as Principal Secretary to Fisheries, Agriculture and the Blue Economy State Department. Mr. Francis Otieno Owino is nominated to become an approval by Parliament Principal Secretary for the State Department of Youth. Mrs. Esther Koimet, to be nominated and on approval by Parliament, will be appointed as Principal Secretary for Transport State Department. And Professor Paul Maringa is moved to be Principal Secretary in charge of Public Works State Department.